This is a regular meeting of the Kaneland Board of Education. We would like to inform all board meeting attendees that this meeting is being live streamed and archived for access at any time by our community members on the internet within 24 to 48 hours of the meeting's conclusion. And Mr. McCauley, pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. Mankivsky.
Here.
Dr. Lawler.
Here.
Mr. McCauley.
Here.
Mr. Stallcup.
Here.
Mr. Cook, Mr. Kleisner, and Mrs. Simmons are absent tonight.
With 4 members present, we have a quorum. Is there anything the board would like to move from consent to new business? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. McCauley.
Aye.
Dr. Lawler.
Aye.
Mr. Stallcup.
Aye.
Mr. Mankivsky.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. The agenda is approved. It is now time for board/superintendent salutes. I will turn it over to Dr. Rowan.
I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Atkins for our first two.
Mr. Polistrini, I saw you. Come on up. You got the fam with you?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, you can point him out. I'd like to introduce Kyle Polistrini, Kaneland alumni, West Aurora admin currently, and as of last board meeting, will be our new special ed coordinator next year. So we had a long, exhaustive process to find our candidate of choice, and we're glad to have Kyle join the admin team here, helping us with some of our special education services. So Kyle, you want to introduce yourself, and got any little words for everybody?
Like Dr. Atkins said, for the last 9 years, I've spent my time at West Aurora School District, and I truly have enjoyed that experience, but something that West Aurora can't offer me, that Kaneland School District can, is that this is my home, and that means a lot to me. That means a lot to my family, and very excited to be part of this team. I'll introduce my family over there. My wife, Mackenzie, our 2 boys, Colton and Caden. My dad's there, and my mom, my mother and father-in-law. My father-in-law is a grad at 1988. He was super excited about that, so he wanted me to share that with you guys. But yeah, it's truly, it's cool coming home. I'm excited to have an opportunity to work with the team here and make our community the best it can be. So thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. I always love it when our alumni come back and work with us, and then have their kids go here too. It's really a neat thing. So, Mr. Polistrini.
And
Just want me to jump right into it?
jump right into the next
All
one.
right, I have a bunch of very awesome ladies here today. Would all of my nurses and health assistants come on up here, because we're going to introduce you. Oh, yeah. All right, now, you may not know, but last Wednesday, the 6th, was our National School Nurse Appreciation Day. So we wanted to bring these ladies here. You send us your kids to educate, to learn, but these ladies keep them safe. So we have an amazing group of ladies. I've seen these people running down hallways with med kits. I've seen them whispering sweet nothings into kids' ears to get them to stop crying. I've seen them call parents and say, hey, listen, it's broken. You got to come here. Calm down, drive safe. It's okay. And everything in between. I always call it boo-boos and Band-Aids. I don't know, but it's an amazing thing what our nurses can do with the kids when they come into the nurse's office, because they're not feeling well. They're hurt. They're injured. They need help, and these ladies give it. So I have got the most amazing group of people here. When I call your name, just raise your hand so everybody knows who you are. Yvette Tran from Shields. We've got Angela Renteria, who's not here tonight, at McDowell. Susan Poston at KBK. Barb Scott from KST, and this is Barb's last year with us, so congratulations to one more Monday. I think that's what we were saying earlier, right? Katie Von Almen. We've got let's see, Danielle Hines, Jill Conrad. They share Harder Middle School. We've got Morgan Sargent, Diva Danae Shamley, and Akancha Garcia, who share the high school. And Mary Feldot and Mary Chandris are not here tonight, but we have an amazing crew of nurses. They keep our kids safe, and so we just wanted to say thank you. I'll be around to see each of you in the next day or two. I got a little something for you, but thank you for taking care of all of our Kaneland kiddos. Anybody? No? Okay. All right. I was teasing them that you'd have to do an interpretive dance tonight, so we're good. All right. Thank you.
All right, this one might take a little while, but as this is the last board meeting before the end of the school year, we will be honoring our retirees and those members of our staff that have reached 25 years. We have a list of people who said they were coming. Some of them are apparently having a senior ditch day. So I'm going to read them off as, we're going to read everybody, but I'll read them off as they were here because that's the order they are on my sheet. This year we asked principals or colleagues to come up with a brief statement about them. So rather than just reading a name, reading a brief statement about their time in their career with us in Kaneland. So first up is Patty Patterman. The epitome of being a Kaneland Knight, her service to Kaneland is second to none. From teaching to coaching to being our athletic director, Mrs. Patterman always gave 100%, and she will sorely be missed. Tina Schertzer. All right. Her engaging instruction and learning activities were always student-centered. On top of being an amazing teacher, Tina is an amazing person. Her humor and friendly demeanor will be missed. Pam McGrew. Okay, Pam. Pam McGrew can do it all. Whatever you need, Pam can do it, and she'll do it with a positive attitude and a smile. She's so great with kids. Her humor and personality will also be missed at Harder. She puts a smile on everyone's face. Bob Barth. Is Bob here somewhere? After 29 years of dedicated service to Kaneland, we celebrate the retirement of an incredible third grade teacher whose impact will be felt for years to come. Throughout his career, he has inspired countless students with his patience, commitment, and passion for learning while building meaningful relationships with students, families, and colleagues alike. We are deeply grateful for his years of service and wish him a retirement filled with happiness, relaxation, and new adventures. Bob. Joanne Hartman. Joanne is a remarkable special ed teacher who has been a fierce and unwavering advocate for her students. Her compassion, commitment, and determination to ensure every child received the support they deserved has left a lasting impact on countless students, families, and colleagues. Tom Federley. Tom here? No? Oh, all right. Well, we're going to say it anyway. After 33 years of dedicated service as a PE teacher, Fed, as he's known at KHS, has had a remarkable career built on compassion, positivity, and meaningful relationships with students and staff alike. Throughout the years, Fed has been a constant source of encouragement and support, always greeting others with a warm smile, a caring heart, and a friendly presence that made everyone feel welcome. He's made a lasting impact on all of us at Kaneland High School. Renee Grish. Renee was You're earlier. Okay. The dedication, professionalism, and enthusiasm that Renee brought to education each day will leave a lasting legacy within our school community. We are grateful for her wonderful years of service and wish her a retirement filled with happiness, relaxation, and many exciting new opportunities ahead. Julie Carnes-Larkowski. Throughout the years, she has inspired countless students with her deep passion for the Spanish language, rich cultural traditions, and meaningful global connections. Her classroom was never just a place to learn vocabulary and grammar. It was also a welcoming environment filled with music, stories, laughter, and an appreciation for the beauty and diversity of Spanish-speaking cultures. And she gets a 25 years. Big winner tonight. Fran Eggleston. For 31 years, Fran has tirelessly given of herself to ensure that all students have access to education. As a principal and director of special education, Fran has woven a tapestry of care, engagement, progress, and love into the day-to-day support of all of our students. Fran expands her love to our students to the community through relationships with the Special Needs PTO and the Elburn Lions. Fran has been integral in providing access not only to learning opportunities within Kaneland schools, but also engagement in the social fabric of our community. Chris wrote this one, you can tell. Fran has been a champion for our students, staff, parents, and community. We wish Fran the best as she writes the next chapter of her life. Kathy Ronzio. Is Kathy here? Okay. Kathy has left an indelible mark on the lives of thousands of students at KME. She has built them up into successful community members, mentored and supported hundreds of staff members, and created a culture and climate of success. Heidi Gilkey. Okay. Heidi has been an incredible educator, first as an art teacher for many years, and then as a second grade classroom teacher. She transitioned with grace, showing a strong willingness to grow, and is consistently patient and supportive of each student's individual needs. Thomas Brandt. We'd like to recognize Tom Brandt for his remarkable 27 years of service to our district. As only the second technology staff member ever hired, Tom played a foundational role in building and supporting the systems we rely on today. Over nearly 3 decades, he has been helping staff and students in technology with patience and expertise. We are grateful for his dedication and wish him all the best in his well-earned retirement. All right. Danny Walgren. Danny has been in transportation for 7 years. While his tenure has not been as long as the others, the impact he has made does not go unnoticed. Danny is the first person to say good morning or have a good evening in the afternoon. He checks in on people, asking how they're doing or what's new. He has driven both for the high school and John Shields, where his students and parents know him as Mr. Dan. He's usually the first to sign off for day trips for any of the buildings, traveling all across Kane County to different events, parks, or activities. While I know he's going to enjoy his mornings off and taking his boat out fishing, he can call him to help out when we need him in the afternoons. Thank you, Danny, for service to the students, the transportation department, and to Kaneland. Lori Shiroka. In the 23 years in the district, Lori has built meaningful relationships with students and staff. She has the ability to truly know her students and their potential far beyond the classroom. Students often leave her classroom feeling heard, seen, and valued. She is able to advocate and support the underdog and encourage students to find confidence. Nancy Meisinger. Nancy is such an integral part of the adult learning process that happens at KSS. She has pushed adults to think and reflect on their practices and make changes for the betterment of our students. Julie Bradbury. Julie has a love of reading that she shares with her students to create lifelong readers. Her dedication to ensuring her students leave her classroom better readers than when they came in is her goal. Liz Orman, I haven't seen Liz today. Liz has been a second grade teacher at KST and instructional coach at KST and KBK, who is truly one of the kindest and most supportive people you could work with. She has consistently supported both staff and students, building strong relationships and creating a positive, encouraging environment. Mary Ahern. Mary's impact has been felt, seen, and valued by so many here at Kaneland High School. Staff and students trust her with all educational matters, so students are successful. Mary has been positive and welcoming to all she comes in contact with on a daily basis. She will leave KHS with a lasting impression of staff and students. Gina Dunham. Gina dedicated herself wholeheartedly to students at KHS. She is dependable, is professional, and a calm presence that staff and students can rely on. Students can trust her and that she was there for them to be successful. All right, Barb Scott. Barb is kind, dependable, and provided consistent care and support to our students and staff. We appreciate her time with us and wish her all the best in her retirement. Diana Janes. Diana has proudly served the district for over 26 years as a school bus driver. It's a long time to be a bus driver. She has safely transported thousands of students across the high school, middle school, elementary, special services, and as a substitute. Most recently, Diana has driven at Harder Middle School and John Shields. Her dedication and service has earned her the #2 spot on the seniority list. Thank you, Diana, for your commitment to our students and district, and wish you well on a happy and well-deserved retirement. Bobby Wendorf. Bobby has been a fixture in the transportation department for over 23 years. She has been a reliable and dependable presence, serving students at every building across the district. Most recently, Bobby has been a permanent substitute driver, consistently stepping up to cover routes and trips whenever needed. Bobby has earned the #3 spot on the seniority list. We thank Bobby for her years of commitment and service to our students and district and wish her a happy and well-deserved retirement. Sue Wojak. Sue Wojak is another staff member that can do it all. As an instructional resource, Sue was engaging with all students. She always got the best out of our students, and she has been missed. She retired earlier in the year. Arlene Goodrich. Arlene has been a valued paraprofessional at KST for many years, and this past year at Harder Middle School. She is calm, patient, and works seamlessly with classroom teachers to support students. Arlene is truly amazing at what she does. And that is all of our retirees. And now we have 25 years of service. So I already awarded Ms. Larkowski. Next, Lori Villalobos. Is Lori here? Okay. Jessica Dixon. I know I saw Jessica. Congratulations. Diana Kowalski. Katie Riley. All right. Stacy Gasick, Tim Larson, Brian Kunstman. I know he's directing a concert tonight. Britt Mattern, Scott Perillo, Vicki Moeller, John Pavlak, and Diana Janes. All served 25 years with the district. And hold on, I got the number here. 400 and, sorry, how many?
476.
476 years of education for our retirees. So that's impressive.
All right, Dr. Bogan,
Nothing this evening.
anything from the board? Retirees, 25 years service, we appreciate what you've been doing, and what you've done for Kaneland, and wish you all the best on behalf of the board. All right, the board appreciates everyone in attendance this evening and invites you to stay as we move into the new business portion of the meeting. We understand that not everyone is able to stay for the entire meeting. We want to make sure you know that this is an open meeting, so you are able to come and go as you need. And we look forward to seeing you at future meetings. Yeah, you can go. Probably have better stuff to do. That made that easy. Tonight's consent agenda that contains the following information. 1, approval of the treasurer's report, April 2026. 2, approval of the meeting minutes from April 27th, 2026, regular meeting. 3, approval of personnel. 4, approval of the destruction of audio recordings from closed session meetings from November 2024. 5, approval of policies from press, issue 121, second reading. 6, approval of food service fees for 2026, 2027, and informational items, student suspension data report, and Freedom of Information Act report. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent items listed.
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Mr. McCauley?
Aye.
Dr. Lawler?
Aye.
Mr. Stallcup?
Aye.
Mr. Mankivsky?
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. The consent agenda is approved. Public comments. We use the public comment section as an opportunity to listen to our stakeholders. The board does not debate or engage in conversation during this time. I'd like to remind everyone to state your name and village of residence for the record. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Public comment is a maximum of 30 minutes with a 20-minute total length of time for any one subject. Those who speak are asked to maintain a tone of courtesy and civility. And we have one person, Rich Janetz. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Rich Jonas. I reside in Maple Park / Cortland Township. I'm way on the outskirts where the sun don't shine. I'm here tonight to tell my daughter's story. I'm sorry it has to be at a night like this. We had a bunch of pristine retirees, which we all appreciate very much, even myself. So I'm here to bring purpose of bullying and what I feel like lack of concern with my daughter and what she's been through at the high school. I'm here to make the board aware of the complete lack of concern Kaneland High School and some district administrators have shown in regards to my daughter's safety and well-being. In the fall 2025, my daughter was told to kill herself multiple times by another student. This incident was reported to the dean, who after investigation suspended the student, but I was never notified by anyone in the Kaneland School District of the situation. My daughter was never referred to a counselor. She was never checked up on by anybody. No one. The night of prom, the situation escalated to the point to where a student threatened to kill my daughter multiple times. Told her to turn her location on, that he was legit going to drive there and kill her. At that time, she made me aware of that threat, and I also learned about the first incident that took place in the fall, finally. Upon talking to the dean, I asked him why I was never made aware of the situation. He said that his exact words were, he assumed that she told me, but he also felt like that he was wrong in that, and that he should have told me, and that he was going to, legit words, take this one off the chin. I expressed more concerns to him as far as the bullying that has been going on with her, and especially this situation that escalated extreme to the point. So the student was suspended. The SRO officer was involved. I feel like at that point, that opportunity, if I would have known about that situation in the fall, that this whole thing should never have even happened. To keep her safe, a restraining order was put in place by the county judge. It was upheld last Friday. After providing to the district, he was also kicked out of school. He can no longer attend school for this year as long as my daughter is involved there. After the OP was sent to the school again, I received a phone call directly from the head of HR, along with others, who seemed to be more concerned that the offender could no longer play baseball. Knowing that my daughter plays on another field on Kaneland High School property, his argument was where this student's field was on middle school property, around 500-600 yards away, even though they could both directly meet in the parking lot where both of them could potentially park at the middle school. My daughter's safety was not mentioned one time in the conversation. Not once was I ever asked by anybody how she was doing. In fact, the only two people that have actually came and asked how my daughter was doing was the vice principal of the school, Mrs. Anderson, and her counselor has reached out a couple of times also to see how she was doing. My resolution is I'm asking the board to provide an answer as to why I was never notified of the initial incident and what you plan on to do to ensure this does not happen again, not only my daughter, but other students in the future. These time of days, you never know what people are capable of. I have concerns the district is not taking this situation seriously, as the head of HR and others only concerned seem to be getting this Kaneland offender back on the baseball field wearing a Kaneland jersey with a restraining order, threatening to kill people, my daughter. I need some reassurance this is being taken seriously and that my daughter will be protected at school. As a victim, she has a right to a safe education. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, it's now time to hear an update from our committee meetings that met this evening, Education Committee and HR Committee.
Education. All right. So we had two items that we went over tonight. The first one was an update on different textbooks and different materials that are being adopted for the next school year. These would include, English textbooks, statistics textbooks, that kind of thing. And then also the supply requests from elementary staff. So music, art, technology, that kind of stuff. And then we went over the budgetary items and discussed, how we came under budget and how these tools would be used to support students. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing we went over was we were unveiling our brand new process for acceleration. So if a student is identified as being eligible to accelerate grade, so perhaps from 4th to 5th grade, or within subjects, so from 4th grade math to 5th grade math, that kind of thing. That process is now delineated. Before it was not really spelled out very cleanly. It is now a 6-step process, and at any point during that process, a student might not be accelerated, might not move up, but might receive differentiation services, right? So pull-out services, might receive some small group work, that kind of thing, right? And this is now all spelled out as a neat process that involves a lot of stakeholders. So community, the parent, the child, social worker, building principal, teachers. And there's also a process for recommending this. So like if I think my kid needs this, I might send a form in, or if my kid's teacher thinks this, they'll send a form in. So it's really exciting to see this because as we've talked about the commitment to excellence, we really think this is a nice feather in our cap for like how we are committing to supporting students on both ends of the spectrum, not just remediation, but also acceleration and enrichment. I think I captured everything. It was actually, it's pretty in depth.
All right, thank you. HR Committee?
HR did not meet.
HR did not. Okay. New business. The first item of new business is a bond sale presentation. Dr. Bogarden, if you would please provide more information.
Yes, tonight we have Bob Lewis with us from PTMA, and he will be giving a brief update because we will have our second round of bond sales coming up. So I will turn it over.
Yeah. Thank you for having me back here tonight. So this, as as said, this is be a quick update. Just want to brief you on what has changed since you last sold bonds last year. So the original plan was to sell the bonds in 3 phases. The first phase sold last year, netted proceeds of just under $24.4 million. And these phases were set up using the construction draw schedule as a guideline to provide funds when you needed them. Because you may recall, we're working around the fact that your debt is retiring soon, but it wasn't quite here, so we didn't want to issue too much too fast in order to make sure we met that objective to not raise the annual tax levy. So the 26 financing was previously estimated to be $87.3 million. With the new draw schedule that was provided to us by the construction team, that one was increased to $90.7 million, which sounds like good news. It means you're probably slightly ahead of schedule, which is not usually what happens when we get to the second phase. And then 27 was originally going to be $28.5 million. That final series would be $25.1 million. Anticipated that that would be sold roughly a year from now. And the second phase also includes a small restructuring of some of the outstanding bonds, because that has to be done in order to keep the payment the same, which you'll see here graphically in a moment. So next slide, this was the plan of finance. The blue bars represent your outstanding debt that you had. The green bars represent the new bonds. And the total estimated debt service that was put out when the referendum campaign was going on was estimated to be $247.7 million, or $0.2 million. Brief market update. This slide here shows you the Fed funds rate with the gray area. The lines represent an index of municipal bonds. And if we focus in on the dark blue line, we've highlighted a couple key moments of volatility. One of those was the Liberation Day, when the new tariffs were first announced in April 2nd of last year. That caused interest rates to spike up. They did come down some before you had your bond sale. The market had stabilized. Rates had continued to head downward some throughout the balance of the year. And then most recently, we had the beginning of hostilities with Iran, which caused interest rates to go up again. As you're probably aware why that they went up. People are worried about the price of oil and what we're paying at the pump. We all are feeling that pain right now. And will that cause inflation to accelerate? Some of those concerns have been ameliorated since the ceasefire was entered into. So you can see some of the rates started to come downward. So if you look at the blue line, again, as a proxy, you're pretty much where we were, maybe a little bit better than where you were last year when you sold the bonds. We'll obviously continue to monitor what's going on in the Middle East, because that, as we all know, changes on a daily basis. A little bit later in the presentation, you'll see a timeline. We can always adjust that timeline. We're not going to just force a bond sale because the timeline says so. We want to make sure it's a stable market and not too difficult to get your bonds sold. This next slide shows you the update to the plan of finance with using current market rates for the planned bond sale. And for 2026, the green represents what's remaining for the 27 bond sale. So using those interest rates, and we're pretty close to where they are on May 5th. Actually, it says March on top. That should be March 26th. And the estimated total debt service is about $8.4 million less than what it was during the referendum campaign. So that's where we like it to be. Now, obviously, it's not final until the bonds are sold, but hopefully that continues to trend that way. So last slide here are the next steps. May 27th, the board would be asked to consider adoption of a parameters resolution to sell the 26 bonds. And that's similar to the resolution that you adopted last year to sell the 25 bonds. Currently, we're scheduled to sell the bonds on June 8th. That's all subject to market conditions. And then they would close on July 7th. That's when you'd receive the proceeds. We're anticipating, given the size of your bond issue, it would be pretty significant interest from participants. Today we had a sale for Northbrook 64, it's about 60-some million. 8 different firms bid, including 3 of the New York Wall Street firms. So we anticipate similar sort of activity when your bonds would sell, given the size of that. Any questions? Otherwise, this is the presentation update. No? Okay, well, thank you for having me out here tonight.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
There is no action required for the bond sale presentation. The second item of new business is the new student representative to the Board of Education. Dr. Rowling, if you'd please provide more information.
Yeah, so at the April 13th meeting, the board did approve continuing with the student representative program. In my 2 years here, it's been fantastic. We've had 2 great student reps, and I'd like to introduce the third now in a line of great student reps. Alina, I'm still working on it. Alina Alfrey. Alrifai, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get it, I promise. I just call her Alina. If you have not met Alina, she is currently working on our strategic planning team. She is involved in probably 3 or 4 dozen activities in school. She is everywhere. She is involved in journalism, Key Club, student government. She's a manager for the girls basketball team. And I feel like I'm missing something else, but a whole host of things. So Alina is fantastic. So we want to welcome her. She will take over the chair when we return in August, and she's actually going to be part of our next presentation. So welcome, Alina. And I know that her friend Sophia will be talking about her during her report, so stick around. All right. So that's our new student rep.
Okay. I will entertain a motion that the Board of Education welcomes Ms. Arafai
So moved.
as the student representative.
Second.
To the Board of Education.
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. Mankowski.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Mr. Stalcup.
Aye.
Dr. Lawler.
Aye.
Mr. McCauley.
Aye.
The motion carries 5-0. The third item of new business is strategic plan update. Dr. Rowling, if you'd please provide more information.
Yes. I just need a
Clicker?
clicker. All right, thank you. All right, so as you know, we have been going through a strategic planning process. I have 2 of our students that are going to help me out with one of the slides. They have been part of this process, so if you want to ask the student perspective, they said they'd be willing to answer questions from the board. So let's just go through the process that we've been working on. We had a community survey that produced 670 results, which is incredible turnout. Gave us a lot to work with. We have been engaging with the stakeholder committee. We have 43 members on there, including the Board of Education, administration, staff, parents, civic leaders, and students. And then we have been using the feedback from the survey and from the committee to develop a vision, mission, a set of learner attributes and goals for a 5-year strategic plan. So what we're sharing tonight is a draft. It's meant for some discussion. I know, actually, if we could pass these down. We have some feedback from one of the board members that I promised I would bring. So this is meant to be discussion, and we will not be voting tonight. The board will vote on this in June. And this part of the plan is really the skeleton of the plan. So this is the really high level stuff. And we'll share a little bit later what the next steps will be. All right? So the survey, that when I was out for 2 weeks, we had, like I said, over 600 respondents. And there were a number of things that came out of that, some big key takeaways. Support for rigorous coursework, real world learning, career pathways, helping students support their well-being and mental health, ensuring that classes allow students to be future ready. That was a big topic of conversation. Continued focus on college and career readiness, something that we really take a lot of pride at Kaneland, is helping each student find their way through high school and to what they want to do next. Attracting and developing teachers and other staff. Improving family and community engagement with a focus on the why. A lot of people shared, we get the decision, but we want to hear more kind of like the inside baseball. Which means Mr. Chavez has to do more videos with me. And then improving our facilities and maintaining our financial resources. So those are the big topics that we got out of the survey. The stakeholder committee, I'm going to let these ladies take over to talk about the stakeholder committee.
All right, so I'm Grace Collins. I'm a student representative on the committee. But at our first meeting, we really came together and kind of discussed where we were at in the district, how long we had been involved, what our position was like, from teachers to students to staff to parents in the district. We really just came together and discussed any issues that we saw in the district, what we'd like to improve, what we're doing well in the district, how kind of things have developed over the years in the district. And then what our hopes for the future of Kaneland are, and what a Kaneland night might look like in 5 years, 10 years, 12 years down the road. And then we really just dove into the main ideas of the survey, like Dr. Olwing was talking about. And then we developed the mission and vision statements from there.
Yes, so at our second meeting, well, first of all, I'm Alina Arifai, and then at our second meeting, we really took action. This is where we nitpicked every little thing, every word that was stated within our vision statement versus our mission statement. We wanted to make sure our vision statement was inclusive to all students and everyone in the district, and that eventually that Kaneland is somewhere that parents and students want to be. That's how my experience at Kaneland has been. I've been in the district all my years. So I'm really excited being able to be a part of this process with Grace and setting forth a future for Kaneland. So at our next meeting is this upcoming Wednesday, and we'll just keep working on our vision and mission statements as we progress through this process. But every voice matters, and it's great seeing all different types of people at these meetings, from parents to administration, and then students like us who want to make a difference within our district.
Anything else you want to share from the student perspective about the process?
Not much. I just think it's really neat that there's so many perspectives coming together at this meeting. We actually were sitting at tables with a representative from like students, from staff, from the community, and then some from even the municipalities. So really a lot of perspectives at one table. And then each table would share an idea or share what they thought about the prompt that was prompted to us, and we kind of combined all of our ideas and made these statements. So
Yeah.
it was really neat.
So it was nice being able to like talk to all these people that you've never had a conversation with, come together for one night, and then collaborate ideas, and then ultimately come up with a common goal. Like, I've spoken to all sorts of different people. Like, I've spoken to board members at my meetings, I've spoken to parents, I've spoken to principals. So it's great seeing all different perspectives and aligning what we value and the difference that we want to make.
And I just want to recognize these two. They're sitting in a room with 30-something adults and have no qualms about sharing their experiences and being a positive part of the conversation. So, way to go. Really proud of you girls.
Thank you.
I'd like to add to that, because, I mean, not only can this be pretty intimidating for, like, adults, but, like, you held your own and, like, often put us on our place. We're like, oh, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, right, so it was great. You were awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. So, I'm going to go through the draft and then talk about next steps, and then we'll have some conversation about any potential changes. All right. So the draft vision statement, after taking all the feedback, trying to wordsmith something that we felt fit the conversation. The draft vision statement is Kaneland Community Unit School District 302 will continue to grow as an integral part of our communities, where every student belongs, achieves at high levels, and is prepared to contribute meaningful in a constantly evolving world. The draft mission statement. So the mission statement is, the vision statement is where are we going, and the mission is very high level, how are we going to get there. So throughout their Kaneland career, all students will engage in meaningful and challenging learning experiences in a supportive environment, ensuring our students develop the knowledge, skills, and character needed to succeed in school and beyond. As we looked at the draft of the learner attributes, we you've hung out with me long enough, you know that I love to make everything Kaneland as I can. And so we thought it would be nice to make this the Knights Code. So really focusing in on not so much the technical content that students will be learning, but those enduring skills. All right, so a Kaneland Knight thinks critically and solves problems. So in there we said analyzes information, applies learning, and develops solutions to complex and real-world challenges. A Kaneland Knight collaborates and communicates effectively, listens actively, expresses ideas clearly, and engages with others in meaningful and effective ways. Kaneland Knight contributes positively, acts in a manner that enhances the school and larger community, and a Kaneland Knight takes ownership of learning, sets goals, reflects on progress, and perseveres by taking responsibility for learning and growth. And then the 4 goals representing 4 different areas of focus. Now, I want to point out that underneath these goals, one of the next steps before this becomes a final plan, before this goes to the board for to adopt it, under each one of those goals, for each year of the plan, there will be specific action items. Right, so that is kind of the meat. I told you this is like the skeleton, and that's going to be like the meat of the plan. Right, I haven't eaten dinner, so. But so these are intended to be very high level, and again, in late May after school lets out, the administrative team will really be focused in on getting those action items in there. All right. So academic excellence and learner readiness ensures all students achieve high levels of academic achievement and develop future-ready skills needed to think critically, solve problems, and apply learning in real-world contexts. So examples might be, year 1 we would be continuing to develop the literacy plan and identifying materials. Some of the other things might be about expanding programming for career tech ed, or in fact that year we will be looking at our career tech ed curriculum. Those are the types of things that you would see in the next 5 years, and each year we'll have those identified targets. The student experience, belonging, and ownership. Ensure every student is known, supported, and connected through a positive learning environment that fosters engagement, resilience, and a sense of belonging. So again, those underneath there, we would talk about how we would actually engage that work. Communications, alignment, and community trust. Develop and implement a clear, consistent, and transparent system of communication that strengthens alignment across the district and provides meaningful engagements for and with the entire community. And then finally, operational efficiency and staff capacity. So ensure the efficient and strategic use of resources that align with Kaneland priorities, maximizes the impact on student learning, and the recruitment and retention of high-quality staff. So this may come as a surprise to the board, but one of the goals for next year would probably involve construction and aligning those resources to maintain our facilities. Developing that long-term facility plan, identifying how we remain competitive as we go out and try to recruit and retain staff. So those are the 4 goals as a draft. So what's next? The stakeholder committee does meet on Wednesday to discuss how to communicate this plan. We really want to hear from those stakeholders. How do you think we should tell the district or the community about this, right? How to measure progress, and then how to communicate that progress. One of the things that we're really focused on is making this an actionable plan, right? Bringing back progress to the board. So we can talk about with what level of regularity, but bringing and having as a board agenda item, here is an update on the strategic plan. We are on pace. Maybe we've come behind for some reason that we don't know. Maybe we have a real problem, right? But having that transparency and creating those opportunities, not just for the board, for the community, to hear about that work and how we're staying focused on the plan. The administration will meet in late May to identify those tasks for each year of the 5-year plan. I feel like I've covered that. If you guys have questions about it, let me know. But that we will be focused in on making it clear and actionable. The Board of Education will review and vote on the full proposed strategic plan at the board meeting on June 29th. That's our target date for the board to formally approve. And part of that will be a communications plan. Right, so alongside the strategic plan will be the way we're gonna communicate our progress. And then pending board approval, the district will communicate the final plan to the community and enact the plan as developed. Now is the time for the board to provide some additional feedback and anything that you have to say, or like I said, our students are here to ask questions. Our students are here to answer questions. You should have some. They can ask questions, right?
Yeah, I have a question. What do you guys think is the most important part of the strategic plan? What do you think would make the most impact? Or what do you, and why, I guess?
I believe that what makes the most impact is actually achieving it and achieving it effectively. Like Dr. Rowling said, I think it's a great idea to implement the steps and then those target goals,
Mm-hmm.
and then bring that feedback back to the board to show that we are improving and being
Mm-hmm.
transparent and honest when it comes to everything that's going on and how successful we are making this happen.
Yeah. So you think the goals are the most important part?
Yes.
I would agree.
Okay.
When do you think we will get kind of the action items per year to the board for review ahead of the June meeting?
That should happen in the first week of June at the latest.
Okay, and we have 2 meetings in June?
No, just one.
Just one?
Right, so, but I'm more than happy to sit down and talk with
Okay.
anybody and walk through it.
I really love the focus on character. I think, obviously a school district is responsible for career readiness and college readiness, right? But I also think this idea of being a member of our community is so important to Kaneland. And I can see that not only in the direct language where it says that, but it's always kind of littered throughout this whole thing. Do you have thoughts on, are we capturing everything we want out of young people to be the new future leaders? Are we getting everything that we need to focus on character? And making sure that you all feel that the place we're creating is the place where character will count and character grows.
Yeah, I mean, I would say right now that Alina and I are very comfortable with where we're at. Of all the adjectives used within the plan are insanely valuable, and every single word in there means something to the student body, not only to the community, but also the student body.
That's good.
So everything in there is very useful and should be taken with value.
Yeah, to add on to Grace's statement, at our last meeting, we focused on every single word. If we didn't like a word,
Yeah.
I know one of the words was destination. Some people viewed it as one way and some viewed it as another. So throughout this plan, each word that was used was strategically picked and then also effective in the way that it's going to be used.
Yeah, I believe it does represent the student body very well.
Thank you.
As we have read through, obviously we got the other draft. As we read through, should we send any comments to you?
Yeah.
So, I'll digest that, but initially, the couple that I have is, in the vision statement, I'd like to bring in some unity and unite the communities together somehow in this. We're an integral part, I agree, how do we unite?
You can throw united right before community.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways, I don't want to get into the grammar of it. I mean, there's a lot of people better at grammar than I am. And I think we should include successfully in here, contribute successfully and meaningfully, because we want them to be a success, not just exist, or give them the tools to succeed. There's certain things you can't force on people, but we want to give them the tools. And the word beyond, I'm not totally against it. I was trying to make it more personable life or, something like that. A little more
Oh, in the mission statement?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, can you repeat? You wanted it to be more?
Personable, you know, beyond it kind of gets me to like Star Wars or something like that.
I'm thinking more Toy Story.
Yeah, there you go. A little Buzz Lightyear here. Yeah.
I love the Knights Code.
I also.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, maybe it's because I have kids that went through Cub Scouts, but it reminds me of the kind of Cub Scouts law, right? Like they got the character and everything, so yeah, I love that a lot. Plus, it's very cool, like the knight mythology. I think that.
Good to have it.
It's clever.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I just thought, I'm trying to find somewhere to put it, and I guess that's why it's not on here, is just curiosity, fostering a sense of curiosity, because I think that's what makes kids want to learn anything. And if there is no curiosity, then you have to force them to learn.
I dig that. Yeah, and Scott, I'm going to say it, I digged everything you said. You know, I think the unity one's so important.
Yeah.
We have so many different communities that we come together, but there is one umbrella that brings us together.
Yep.
We should lean into that, yeah.
What, can I ask another question? What isn't in here that you've heard that you think is very provocative or that would help?
I did like your use of the word curiosity. I think that would be very meaningful to put in there. We've done a lot of wordsmithing with the statements, and as of now, as I read those statements, they do ring true to what we were discussing. Certainly things could be added or subtracted, but the overall idea is definitely there, and there's never going to be a perfect statement out there. So overall, we represent everybody very well.
Yeah, that's always tough, right? Like,
right.
You got to find the balance of
Yeah.
don't say too much because otherwise no one can understand what you're saying
Right,
anymore,
right.
And you say too little, it becomes misinterpreted. Right?
Exactly.
I think you're right. I think we spend a lot of time picking all the adjectives and all the descriptors.
Yeah. Yeah. Can get a little wordy when you try and fit all those adjectives in there.
All the words, yes.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
can get confusing, and then people will interpret it a different way
Yep.
than another. So.
Yep.
Well, please send me thoughts. We'll continue to tighten this language up a little bit. And then, like I said, after our all-day goal-setting retreat at the end of May, I'll clean up all that work and get that out to the board. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any additional thoughts. All right.
Thanks for fielding our
Yes.
questions.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
And again, not an easy thing to do, to stand. A lot of people get really nervous standing at that podium, and you guys nailed it.
Thank
you.
Good job.
Appreciate you.
There's no action required for the strategic plan update. The fourth item of new business is the resolution authorizing disposal of surplus property, the mobile classroom units. Dr. Bogan, if you'd please provide more information.
Yes, I think it's hard to follow that with this topic, but it is exciting in a different way. This is related to our construction and the successful referendum. So one of the projects that we are undertaking is the building of the new maintenance facility. Where that is going to be situated on campus is where currently we do house, and we have 3 mobile units. These 3 mobile units currently act as storage, records and some other equipment. We have found alternative storage locations on campus for those items. And so we are looking to demolish these so that we can build the new facility there. Part of that process is asking the board to dispose of surplus property. These 3 units were originally purchased and built in 1990 for the cost of just over $28,000 each. They have been fully depreciated and then some. The district has definitely gotten quite a bit of use out of these units. But again, they are fully depreciated. They will be demolished. There is not a value to save them, to try and take them apart and rebuild them somewhere else. They have definitely exceeded their useful life. So that's really it for this. It's fairly straightforward, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
So when you say demolish, I'm imagining like there's a red button, you press it.
Yeah, they will. We're not imploding them.
Is that
No, not quite that fancy. So,
Oh, it's better.
When you say alternative storage locations, is that dumpsters?
So actually, some of the records that are being stored, we are retaining. The district, not only are we doing this, but we are also moving the district. We have another project that's coinciding. We're going to be using a Laserfiche, which is basically a digital repository for storage. So that is going to be a process. It's not something that we can undertake all at once. So we're phasing it in over about the next 2.5 years. But records that we need to store and maintain, we do have another location that they'll be stored at Kaneland Meredith Academic Center. We are not without, we have plenty of areas for storage. So we will be moving those things there. And then also coinciding with this, we are moving to digital storage of records for retention. So.
Did the fire departments or the police departments didn't want these for training or anything?
I'll be honest, we did not reach out. These units are extremely old, and I don't know that they would
They burn well.
survive versus like being taken apart and
burn?
reused somewhere else. So
We're not doing a controlled burn.
correct. But the cost of taking the units down is wrapped up into site work that was part of this latest bid issuance. So the cost of removing them from the site has already been figured into the construction planning.
Anything else? I will entertain a motion that the Board of Education approves of the resolution authorizing the disposal of surplus property, in this case, the mobile classroom units.
So moved. Second.
And a roll call, please.
Dr. Lawler.
Aye.
Mr. Stolka.
Aye.
Mr. Mankivsky.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Mr. McCauley.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. The resolution authorizing the disposal of surplus property is approved. The fifth item of new business is a discussion of health insurance renewal. Dr. Bogan, if you'd please provide more information.
Yes, so I know we've had several conversations and we've talked about this previously, but I did want to update the board. The Health Insurance Committee this year has done a lot of work. One, the biggest thing occurred in the fall, and we went out, we did an RFP for a new broker. So for this renewal, we did work with our new broker, with Gallagher. Their team has been very easy to work with, very communicative. They did a great presentation for the Health Insurance Committee leading up to this, and a lot of additional work to see what we could do to bring the renewal down. Overall, our renewal this year came in higher than we had anticipated. The original amount for the renewal is 9.5%, so we typically budget around 6% for that increase, so definitely higher than we had hoped for, than we had anticipated. The good news is that when we look at overall market conditions and what surrounding area districts are seeing, we're in a very good place. We're under that double digit, not by much, but we're under it, and so that's good. Rockford 205 just had a 25% increase. Batavia 101 also had a 25% increase, and so we're seeing, some big increases. There's a few things that are driving that. One has to do with new state mandates here in Illinois. The biggest one is that all plans, even if they're self-funded, even if they're what's called an administrative contract only, we are required now by law to provide care for infertility treatments. And so that has greatly expanded. Our plan previously did not cover that. We do need to do that now. So individuals who are diagnosed with infertility, there are many treatments and different options that will now be covered under the plan. So that's great news, in the one sense. from a plan perspective, there is a financial implication. So there is a market adjustment happening for that. There's also some other things that are happening in terms of pharmacy. Biosimilars over the next few years are coming onto the plan. So are some of the gene therapies. And so those things are very, very expensive, but they're also life-changing, and people that receive these treatments, many times go on to leave, normal, regular sort of lives and are cured from these conditions. But again, that does have a plan impact. We did look at a couple different items. What could we do to bring this down? One of them was looking at our stop loss coverage. So I won't go into crazy detail on stop loss. Essentially, stop loss is additional insurance that you buy, right? So if you have an individual who exceeds, a certain dollar amount, basically you get reinsurance. You get reimbursed for anything over that amount. So we did look at that. We also looked at carving it out. So right now, our stop loss insurance is through Blue Cross Blue Shield, and it's a significant increase. It's 49% just for stop loss, what we're seeing on the increase. One of the challenges we have is that if we carve it out and we go with another company, if our plan member, so like the individual who carries the insurance, either as the individual or the family or the spouse, if we drop below 500 members, Blue Cross Blue Shield takes away that carve-out feature, and we hover right around anywhere from like 504 to 511 plan members. So we've kind of been teetering on that edge. So the other issue with carving it out is Blue Cross Blue Shield imposes a $2 surcharge per member per month. And so that sort of takes away some of the savings that you would earn from doing that carve out. But we did look into it. It's something that the committee will continue to explore next year. When we met, we also talked about what were some ways that we could continue to keep premiums down for membership, right? We know that costs are rising everywhere. So one of the things that the committee and that you'll see tonight is that we are proposing using up to $300,000. I think it's going to fall closer to $250,000 of the KEBTF fund balance, which is funded by both employee and employer premiums, but using a part of that fund balance to offset the cost of the renewal. So the renewal is still going to be 9.5%. However, if we use a portion of that, we can get the premium increase down to 7.5%. So we're actually working through those numbers. I did get an email late this afternoon with some updated figures from our broker. That's why they're not included in here, because we're still working through that. So I did provide last year's premiums, total premiums, so that you can see that. And then later this week in the weekly update, the committee will also see the updated premiums. I'll share that with the board, and it will be included in the next board packet. So for this year, the Health Insurance Committee is recommending the overall, it's 9.4 increase for the 26-27 school year, and that does include using a portion of that fund balance and then also having that lower premium. One of the things I do want to let the board know is that when I first started at Kaneland, our fund balance in the KTBF fund, it was kind of hovering right around $1 million. And based on our claims, which we average about $1 million per month in claims, our reserves we would want to have at about $3.5 million. And so currently we are at $3.3 million. And so by using just a portion of that fund balance, we're still putting ourselves in a good position, and we're also fully funding the plan. One of the things that we didn't want to do was just say, well, we're going to artificially just increase premiums for everyone by 6, 7, 8, 9% to give everyone a break, because then we know we're not funding our plan fully. So we are making the recommendation to do that through that combination of premiums and then also existing fund balance.
Does that increase include vision and prescription?
Yes.
So it's not just health and
It's
dental?
not correct. So we had a very small increase on dental. It almost stayed flat. The district does not have a separate vision plan. We have a $300 vision benefit that's part of our medical insurance. So that is a little bit different, and we try and do a lot of communication, with employees about how that works. Even, a lot of, like, unless you're going to a big box store, a lot of places don't even realize, like, oh wait, it's not, Blue Cross Blue Shield vision. It's actually part of the medical plan. It's just a $300 benefit within that. So, but it does include, it's all encompassing of those.
Anything further? I will entertain a motion that the Board of Education approves the following recommendation from the Health Insurance Committee. Approve the health and dental insurance increase up to 9.4% for the 2026-2027 school year.
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. Stolkup.
Aye.
Mr. Mankivsky.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Mr. McCauley.
Aye.
Dr. Lawler.
Motion carries 5-0. Sixth item of new business is the approval of curriculum tools for 2026-2027. Dr. Rowling, will you please provide more information?
I'm going to hand this one off to Dr. Horn, and I'll bring him the clicker.
I try not to take too much of your thunder.
Well, the guy love the clicker. All right.
Yep.
Thank you. Good evening. So each year I have the good fortune of bringing recommendations to the school board for new curricular tools for our teachers. This evening, the presentation that I have is going to be broken into 3 different key areas. The first will be curricular tools in the form of textbooks, as well as textbook subscriptions that go to support our high school. Many of the tools being recommended are for classes that were recently approved this past school year when we did our course offering handbook update. Others are being recommended to the school board because of changes made to the advanced placement exam that's governed by the College Board. And as a reminder, the AP exam is what is taken after a student completes an AP class in order to potentially qualify for college credit. The second portion of my presentation has to do with our exploratory at the elementary level, so kindergarten through 5th grade, of classes that are offered that's part of our curricular review process. So this has been a 2-year process that we've worked through with exploratory teachers. They've identified items that they needed to help bolster their ability to work with our our teachers work with our students to help them build those foundational skills necessary for middle and high school. As a side note, this will be the last time that by design we're bringing exploratories as a big group like this. The curriculum review process has been changed. Historically, it was a 2-year process and it was parceled elementary, high school. Because of their realignment with the teaching and learning department, we are taking a kindergarten through 12th grade approach to it. So for example, at the elementary level, we have a class called technology. That's an exploratory class. That class builds the foundational skills necessary when you get to the high school and you're taking an elective class for credit in our college and CTE, college technical education programs, or potentially at Fox Valley. So making sure that it's better aligned will be an approach we're taking. Again, that's just a side note. And then the final part of this is going to be an update on the current review cycles that we have going right now, to give you an update on some things that might be coming at a later board presentation. Okay, so the first item that I am showing, this is a class that has been recently overhauled. It is for our English 12 class that just as a side note, all students at Kaneland High School and in the state of Illinois are required to take 4 years of English. So this is our fourth year class. This class has been redesigned for portability into English 101 at any community college in the state of Illinois. So it means any student taking senior level English at Kaneland High School would not have to take a placement test. If they're going to Waubonsee, if they were going to Kish, if they're going to ECC, they would be automatically enrolled into that English 101 class. This book has been selected in conjunction with the department, English department, building, district level administration, and it has a focus on rhetorical modes and college level literacy, and it is also part of an outline of recommendation from the Illinois Community College Network. The next book that is being recommended is for our recently approved dual credit class. That is another class that is an opportunity for students to take. The difference between the class I just referenced and this, we're not talking about portability, we're talking about a transcript. When you finish the dual credit class of the high school, you actually get a transcript from Waubonsee Community College. You get the credit that you were then either able to take to Waubonsee or use as your college transcript as you transfer to it and apply it to whatever class or college you choose to go to. We do have two different books that are being recommended here. The first was the Little Seagull Handbook, and that is the #1 best-selling book in the industry and is used in over 600 schools and is required by Waubonsee Community College. So kind of didn't really have a choice there, but just so that you have that information. And then the Norton Field Guide to Writing is widely adapted because it has flexibility in order to provide instruction necessary for students to develop those key composition skills when they're writing at the college level. Okay, next is a update that is happening within our let's see here, our statistics class. This is an existing course. This is not something that has recently been approved. AP Stats has been on the books for a number of years. This is just an update to the textbook. This is the 8th edition to the textbook. Currently, the teacher is using the 6th edition of the textbook. The AP Stats test has just been overhauled, so this book is 100% aligned to the AP Stats test for the updated 2027 test that will be utilized. AP Pre-Calculus is a new class that was recently approved by the school board. And this book here has been selected in conjunction with the teacher of the class as well as the building and district level administration as being aligned to the learning outcomes necessary to be successful on the AP test.
Dr. Horn, may
Yes.
I ask your methodology on how many copies the district buys? Is that just
what we do is we look for enrollment trends within the class. Is it something that typically runs one section, two section, and then we do like to have a couple extra on hand. And then when you'll see the 6-year licensing or 5-year licensing, that's how many years are left between when, if approved, we'd be purchasing the license and when the next renewal would be up. I'm sorry, I mean the next curriculum review cycle. Wanting to make sure that we have enough access to the online components to get us to that next review cycle. That's a change in the way we've been purchasing licensing. Okay. Historically, we've been buying it 1 year at a time, and that actually costs more than if you buy it in bulk.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Okay, AP Spanish is another class that has been on the books for a number of years. There's a similar AP Statistics. There is a change to how the test was designed, what was focused on, so we're updating our textbooks to align to that test. Okay, so that concludes the textbook portion of it. Do you have any questions before I move on to the exploratory? Okay. All right, so for the exploratories, what we have done is we have this broken down by subject area, and the total cost does provide us the materials necessary for all 4 elementary schools. And with music, most of what they're looking for is some equipment upgrades to make sure that they have the tools necessary to keep the kids engaged at the elementary levels. Similar within art, there are some costs that's driving some of this. It does have to do with some technology. They are looking to purchase some iPads, so we'd be working with Tim's department to get the best price available and to make sure that the iPad is compatible with our network. And on each slide, if you notice, there's a total cost for the exploratory art. The total cost is $26,860 for that's all 4 buildings together. There is an itemized list hyperlinked within that. And then in your board packets, we did print off the spreadsheets, so you have the itemized list of all the items that they are looking for. Physical education came to $21,714, and it was updating mats, equipment, storage bins for our PE teachers at 4 elementary schools. And then the exploratory technology team, that cost does come a little bit higher because we are talking about technology. There's some 3D printers embedded within this. We do use 3D technology both at the middle school and high school, so it's getting our students access to the technology at a younger age. Comes to $30,766. Again, that itemized list is embedded for you. Okay, and that's all of the exploratory. So that brings us with estimated shipping to a total recommendation for the exploratory as well as the high school advanced placement, dual credit, and articulated credit of $129,725.
And Dr. Horn, this is below the budget.
That's correct.
We budgeted how much?
For the exploratory at the elementary level, we had $150,000 budgeted for it. It becomes a little bit more complicated because the math there's $500,000 budgeted for the math, which would have included the calculus, and those are because it's smaller are much less.
Yeah, I wanted to ask if anyone on the board, I'm pretty neutral on it, but for the art, about half of the expense is just new iPads that they can use in art. When I mean, they use technology other places. What do you guys think about that?
Versus
spending it on other art equipment, and the kids get technology times at other times during the day.
I'm not opposed to it, I guess.
Yeah.
Less screen time is better for me.
Yeah.
Me too. Well, these are devices that would be used during specific activities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of the iPad, part of the reason, and I wasn't part of this conversation, but I've been part of these conversations before.
Yep.
Part of the reason the iPad is built more as a creator tool
Mhm.
as opposed to a Chromebook, and so this would be exposing them to some of those things that would then build into more of the graphics arts
Mhm.
that when we move into middle and high school allows them to kind of work inside of that environment, which would be why that recommendation.
And the art
So it's not like they're doing it all the time.
No, I understand. I just wanted to see what you guys thought. And the art teachers like this idea. They don't just
This is generated by the art
The art
teachers.
teachers,
We facilitate it, we guide it, we walk them through a process to give focus, but it is the teachers leading this.
Okay, perfect.
I think my only concern would be is if that was like, that's what the class became, because I think everybody, I want to see them doing like hands-on stuff. But there are probably projects like maybe animation or photography or something like
Correct.
that where they do need a digital tool to create.
Yes,
that.
yes.
I get uncomfortable telling the teachers how to teach their classes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But if looking at specifically with art, looking at most of what they're asking for is predominantly hands-on.
Right. That's good to see, I think. So, yeah.
Anything further?
Okay. And then just one last, just as a heads up, we are doing a kindergarten through 12th grade literacy review, again, like I referenced, taking a district approach. The secondary literacy team is moving at a fairly swift pace. I do anticipate a recommendation coming soon for no red ink as a writing tool to help support at the middle and high school level. Just foreshadowing, that's not finalized yet, but that could potentially be coming. And then secondary mathematics have agreed upon a pilot, and they have some 2 different companies that are going to be piloting for next year with a recommended tool coming, similar to the way we did with the EC5 math adoption at a future time.
Dr. Horn, I meant to ask you this in our meeting. The no red ink tool, does that have, I know you said it's about helping to write better essays and construct mechanics of the
Correct.
writing. Does it have tools to combat or to consider AI and AI's use?
It does, yes. And I don't mean to, I feel, Chuckle, every time I turn around, it seems like, but then AI is moving so quickly.
Yeah, it's an arms race.
Yeah.
Win, yeah.
Yes.
Well,
But
it's using AI to find the AI, so.
Is that a problem?
It is interesting hearing the vendors describe it, because not only is it using the AI to catch the AI, it has the option for the teacher to use the AI to give the feedback to the students, so they could potentially not use the AI. So it's
There's an ethical question there too, right? Like, you can't use AI, but I could use AI, right?
right. And part of we've talked about this with the strategic plan, making sure our teachers know how to navigate the world of AI, because it is going to be a challenge.
Anything further?
That's it.
I will entertain a motion that the Board of Education adopts the recommended curriculum tools.
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. Mankowski,
Aye.
Mr. Cook,
Aye.
Dr. Lawler,
Abstain.
Mr. McCauley,
Aye.
and Mr. Stalka.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0 to 1.
Thank you.
The recommended curriculum tools have been approved. It is now time for Superintendent Board Report. Dr. Rowling, do you have anything to share?
Yes, I do. Big congratulations to Noah Witz, senior, who won the State Skills USA competition for HVAC. Compete in the national championships in June. I think he's going to Atlanta for that. Mr. Chavez and I interviewed him today. Yeah, Atlanta in June.
Atlanta in June.
Sounds great. I hope they got
There'll be some HVAC there.
Mr. Chavez and I had the opportunity to interview him today about that experience, and it was really interesting. And at one point, he started a fire for us. It was on purpose, but showing us how a furnace works on the inside. So congratulations to him. It was really impressive. Also, congratulations to Olivia Cotter for winning the IHSA Journalism Championship in the yearbook copywriting. So state champ there, and also 6th place in review writing. So we also had the opportunity to speak with the choir students that competed downstate today, and again, just an incredible group of students that are doing some incredible work. So very proud of our choir students. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., we'll be having the ceremonial groundbreaking at Kaneland High School as we prepare to begin construction on the field house this summer. So I know many of you are planning on attending. Looking forward to it. It looks like they canceled the rain, so I'm in favor of that. Should be a great event, and then I will be sharing additional events for playgrounds and the other 2 construction projects this summer. And then finally, I didn't write this in my notes, but it is Sophia Schroll's last meeting with us. I want to take a moment to recognize her. She's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed, we meet right before every meeting, go through the agenda. She
is either interested or really good at faking interest in some of the like detailed things. And she shared with me today that you know, she might consider being a board member in the future. And then she also asked me to write her letter of recommendation, so I'll have to come up with a few things, a few nice things to say about her, but she's been fantastic. Super happy to have her been a part of the process, and wish her luck as she goes to, where do we land? Illinois State University. So
Integrated marketing.
Integrated marketing. I'm not even sure what it means, but it sounds good.
Digital marketing.
Okay, fantastic. So, thank you. Good luck.
Yes,
and
thank
stay
you.
tough. That's the hard part about the student board members. You only get them for a year. That's all I got today.
That's all you got? All right, Dr. Bowman?
Yes, I just have a quick one. We did have our bid opening for bid issuance 3 on Friday, May 8th. And very happy to share that numbers came in a little bit lower than where we thought they were going to be. So still some work to do on that. We will be meeting with Nicholas and with Wold to go through in detail all of the different scopes. There were 10 different scopes within the bid issuance, and so we'll be going through each of those. We'll also be going over any alternates, all of those things. So very much looking forward to sharing with the board. At the next meeting, there will be a full report on the bid issuance, and I'm sure information shared before then as well. So, that's all.
Ms. Schroll?
One last time I have to walk.
Enjoy it.
Good evening. I hope everyone's been doing well. This week marks the last regular week of the 2025-2026 school year. I wanted to highlight some accomplishments like overall in the year before like some recent events. So we had multiple sports and organizations go to state for like the first time in a long time, or reoccurring competitors including the cheer team, boys varsity basketball team, chess team, boys cross country team, our student newspaper, the Kaneland Crier, and then our all-state choir participants. So going to state is just such a privilege for those students, and we are so proud of those teams who achieved that accomplishment this year. So just thank you to those individuals and those teams for representing Kaneland in such a positive light. I love Walk of Champions. I just like brag to all my friends at other schools that I just think it's so fun. So I'm so glad we do it at the high school. The high school this year just came together as a community. I feel like as a senior, obviously, like I'm sad it's my last year, but I feel like we like truly came together as a community this year, and I really saw it. So I'm just proud of our students. And then some recent events coming up include Senior Honors Awards Nights, which happens every year. Many seniors get scholarships and like plaques and get recognized by some teachers. So it's just a great event if you want to come on Thursday at 6 p.m. I think. And then this Friday is our senior trip, so the seniors will go to Guarantee Field for the White Sox versus Cubs game. So I will personally be cheering for the Cubs, but you know. And then if you get a chance, graduation is this Sunday at 5 p.m. at NIU's Convention Center. And then for other students who are not seniors, they will participate in finals week next week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and have their last day on Wednesday, May 20th. This is my last board meeting. I want to thank Dr. Rolling and then also Mrs. Cattell. They both interviewed me last year, and this opportunity has just been amazing and like trusting me in this position. I also want to thank the board for listening to me every week and my statements, and also providing a space for like me to build my confidence in my voice. I did say today, I was like, I kind of like going to these and I kind of enjoy it, and I definitely like would be a board member on my school's school board, so I'm kind of like waiting for that chance. And then I will just always cherish what I've learned being the student representative, and I can't wait to just start my journey at Illinois State. Now, Alina. I won't cry, I promise. I've gotten the privilege of watching Alina grow into the amazing person she is today for like the past 2 years during Crier and Key Club. I've watched her step into leadership roles and build the confidence and patience of a professional. This year we have grown to be close friends, and I can say with my whole heart she is the perfect person to step into the role next year and represent the voice of the students. Your student representative for the 2026-2027 school year is Alina. And I still can't say her last name either.
Thank you, Ms. Schwal. Board members, anyone have anything? All right. Are there any topics for future agenda that the board would like to discuss? All right, it is now time for the second round of public comments. And seeing none, we will move on. The Board of Education is scheduled for a closed session to discuss Illinois Open Meetings Act, Section 2, Sub C, Sub 11, where there will be no action taken following the session. Therefore, after the vote to go into closed session, the recording of tonight's meeting will be concluded. I will entertain a motion to go into closed session to discuss Section 2, Sub C, Sub 11 at 8:36 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is adopted. We are now